How much should UX cost? This is probably the number one question we are asked. Today, I'm going to unpack this. Pricing design is never easy. Design is about solving problems, and how am I supposed to figure out how much time will take me to solve a challenge before I actually solve it? In The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams tells us about a group of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings demanding to learn the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything from the supercomputer Deep Thought, specially built for that purpose. It takes Deep Thought 7.5 million years to compute and check the answer, which turns out to be 42. Deep Thought points out that the answer seems meaningless because the beings who instructed it never knew what the question was. When asked to produce the ultimate question, Deep Thought says it cannot. However, it can help to design an even more powerful computer that can, and it will take 10 million years to figure out. This pretty well describes the challenge, but we're still required to give an estimate, kind of like Deep Thought. There are many ways to unpack this, and here's my step-by-step guide. After going through the steps, I will give you my secret formula. So, step 1. Are we aligned on the market? Before we unpack the experience, we have to know what is going on in the market. We want to make sure we know our competitors and we know our users. The question we should be asking ourselves are, who are we designing for? Who is going to use our product, and who is going to make the buying decisions? Who are our competitors? How are they selling? How are they solving our user problems? If we do not clearly know these answers, we need to price research. Step 2, are we aligned on the challenge? Before we start to estimate, we need to see where we stand in terms of knowing what we're facing. To figure out if we know the answers, we ask, how will success look like? In the best scenario, if all is perfect, think optimistically about it. Then ask, what can block us from getting there? Are we aligned on that? This is a trick question, as most stakeholders think their team is aligned, but in most cases, they aren't. The best way to find out is to ask them separately and then present the results. If we do not know the answer to these questions, or we are not aligned on the answers, then we need to price strategy and alignment. Step 3, do we have a concept? The first step into the design process is to get a general idea on how we are going to solve the problem. Are we going to build an app or a website? Are we going to create a service or a one-time product? Many of our clients approaching us have a good idea of their concept, but they did not complete step 1 and 2. This is a pretty common mistake. We have a hunch on what we should do, which is great, but skipping strategy and research significantly increases the risk of failure, and for sure will make the UX process ineffective and costly. If a UX designer does not understand the business, the market, and the strategy, most odd that she will do a bad job, and you can't blame her for this. She's actually asked to implement a solution for an unknown problem, which does not make sense, right? If we do have an idea, we can price a concept. The outcome should be a prototype we can show and explain. Without something concrete, we will not be able to get feedback or buy in on our idea. We have to have something we can show. Step 4. What is the functional scope? All is in the details. The concept is great, but if we need something to be done, we need to go down into the details. This is the practice, and sometimes you price for UX alone, and sometimes you price for UX UI together. But to price this properly, you need to get alignment. You want to decide what are the main user flows we are going to enable. In many cases, this is referred to as jobs to be done. From my experience, avoid any discussions about features. This does not get you anywhere. For example, a search can be a simple site search, and it can be Google. How can I estimate this? Talk about user motivations, about business goals, and think about the relevant user flows. Once you align on them, prioritize them. This will help you understand what is more important and what should be addressed first. Okay, so these are the 4 steps you have to go through. And now the pricing formula. We start with time because time is money. What did we have? Research around 2 to 12 weeks, depending on how many users you want to interview and how deep you want to go. Alignment, time-wise it can take 2 to 4 weeks and you want to get all the key stakeholders involved. Concept. Before we started working with Design Sprint, it took us around 2 to 4 weeks, and now it's part of the alignment process. If you want to learn more about Design Sprint, we have some great videos for you. I'll put them in the comment section. Estimating scope. This should take 1 to 2 weeks of work until you figure out your MVP and plan it. Execution. Well, a complex flow can take 1 to 2 weeks to figure out, and a simple flow can take 1 or 2 days. On top of that, you would like to plan management, which is usually 10 to 25% of all of the above. Confused? Yeah, it's confusing and difficult to do. And the worst part is that you can't estimate execution without completing research, alignment, concept, and scope. So what can be done? Whatever you do, try as hard as you can to avoid estimating time and materials. It's a losing game. It commoditizes design and drives you away from good user experience and innovation. For me, 2 options. First option, reverse engineering. This is a rough estimate, but will be a great indicator. Look at the overall budget. How much are you willing to spend on the MVP? Look at your funds. Where do you want to be in 6 months after you launch the MVP, and work backwards. Design should roughly take 40% of your dev budget if you're heavily relying on user experience and expect a lot of interactivity. If you're not, then take about 25%. I did this so many times. I always hear people say this is a simple design challenge and should take less. It never does. Design takes time and you better allocate it in advance. Second option, Design Sprint. After years of doing all this math, we kind of stopped. What we do now is Design Sprint before anything else, even before research. If you have a general idea about the challenge and the way you want to solve it, you can run a Design Sprint. That will save you months of work and help you scope much better. We have a video outlining when you should run a Design Sprint. I will put that in the comments as well. The big idea is to run an intensive week in which you define the challenge, explore many solutions, select one, prototype it, and user test it. By the end of the Design Sprint week, you have a real-looking prototype after you validate it against live users. What we usually do is run a 1-month process where we include a week of research, 2 consecutive design sprints, and a week of scoping. By the end of that month, you have everything you need to price your MVP. Another great thing about it is that it can easily be fixed priced for its value. So you know your initial spend upfront, and you can make informed decision about whether you want to do this project at all or how much it would actually cost. So instead of this, you have this. I hope this helped you organize your pricing and estimations. I would love to know how you price your UX process. If you like this video, you may want to subscribe to our channel and get more UX product and innovation updates. Be well, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!